So, I've made it no secret that I hate this game. When it comes to the top 5 worst video games of all time, you have For Honor, Day Before, Superman 64, Atari's E.T., and at first place, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. My statement about how this game is utter trash has caused a few of the inmates from Arkham Asylum to comment below saying how I was completely wrong, with a few people even telling me to cover the game. But no, I wouldn't. Never. In fact, I was so confident I would never cover this game, I actually set a bounty. Please, for the love of God, will someone tell me how to get this credit crate? And you know what? If someone does it and tells me how to do it correctly, I will make a video on the Revenge of the Fallen tie-in game. So there you go, the bounty's been set.
Oh, no, 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 no.
So here we are, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, the video game. I hate this game. Just like the previous tie-in game, Revenge of the Fallen features 2 campaigns, one Autobot and one Decepticon, each showing the movie from each faction's perspective. While the Xbox and PlayStation versions of the game had both campaigns on one disc, Nintendo decided to make 2 separate games for each.
Here comes the money!
Here we go.
Other much better games like War for Cybertron featured a similar system, but in that game it was used as a narrative tool, allowing for the story to be shown in parts. But in much worse games, Revenge of the Fallen, the campaigns are just the same, but in one you have to save humans, well, in the other you I want it to be known now, because many of you will have the attention span of an amoeba and won't make it to the end of the video, that the Autobot campaign sucks. It's an utter slumberfest. It felt like I was in a coma when I was playing it. It actually felt like somebody had cast Sleepy Joe on me. There was only one time in the entire game I found myself wanting to laugh at it, and it's when Ratchet keeps calling Sam's girlfriend, Michaela, the female. It's all he calls it is the female. The Decepticon campaign, however, is the shit. When you play this section of the game, you are literally him. You are that guy. This isn't me being edgy either. The campaign is just legitimately more fun. For example, in the Autobot missions, you have to evacuate humans, while in Decepticon campaigns, you have to interrogate them. Now, how do you think Decepticons interrogate humans? We know from the film they tend to unconsensually insert something into a human to get the information. However, here, they fire the fucking Hammer of Dawn. Orbital laser stratagem R moment. Careful boys, this is what happens when the automatons win. Quick tangent here. The automatons are harder than the bugs. Creek crawling is not a sin. Free Malevolon Creek. In the Autobots campaign, you defend buildings, while in the Cons one, you inflate the homeless statistic. I think it's going to become very obvious that I did not enjoy playing the Autobot campaign. I couldn't even force myself to have the normal YouTube enthusiasm while playing it, nor when I was writing the script for it. But I am kind to my fan base, so I'll keep the Autobot side quick. If that upsets you, go watch the movie, it's the exact same plot.
Optimus Prime? He's Jewish?
Both campaigns start with a tutorial, each having 2 sections, land and air. The tutorial is really bare bones. You learn to move around, mantle and fight, and then you're brought to the part of the game I absolutely hate, the driving. Because of the fact that Jeffrey Dahmer was the lead developer of this game, to actually transform you have to hold down RT. Who made this? Why? Why would you make this mechanic is the reason I despise this game. Well, other than the fact that it fucking sucks. Each of the Autobots you can play as have different weapons and abilities. Ironhide has a shotgun and grenade launcher, as well as the ability to deploy a turret. Clearly, this means he has 500 hours as engineer on TF2. Ratchet can self-heal, as well as having an assault rifle. Optimus has 2 pistols and some weird energy laser. He can also cover himself in slurp juice, making himself in... Bumblebee has a rocket launcher and an assault rifle. He can also deploy an EMP. Breakaway, the flying character, also has an EMP as well as a sniper. Once the tutorial is finished, we are introduced to the hub area, which is just a map that shows us where we can access missions, upgrade abilities, and look at unlockables. Missions have 2 stages. The main stage that unlocks the next story mission, and then there's an optional side mission. You don't have to do these second missions, but if you want to be able to use the other characters in any of the other missions, you need to do some objectives. But I don't know. Can I end the video here? No? The first mission has us play as Ironhide. We're told that the Decepticon Sideways has been spotted in Shanghai, so clearing our way through downtown Shanghai, we get a clear demonstration of the power this physics engine has to offer. And eventually, Sideways does actually make an appearance. He's not very hard, he's just annoying to deal with. All he does is run away. Every time his health bar reaches a certain point, he's scripted to drive off. The issue is that by the time he's gotten to the next point, his health bar has dipped to the next marker, meaning he's going to run again. But because Sideways' social credit score is too low, he fucking dies. Mission 2 has us play as Ratchet, and we're told by a rather low-scaled human that Ironhide has been captured by the Decepticons. So heading over to him, we resurrect him, and once up, Ratchet and Ironhide fight their way through downtown Shanghai until evac can get them. Some of you keen-eyed viewers may have noticed that we actually play as Optimus in this mission. Why? Well, that's because we need to take down the Demolisher. Demolisher is actually so big, he scares away a cop car. A cop car, mind you, that apparently is haunted by a ghost, because there's no one driving it. Unlike Sideways, Demolisher is actually a fun boss. He has waves of Decepticons he throws at you. Lucky for us, however, Optimus has a special ability, that being literal plot armor, and with the aid of this cheat, we take him down. After absolutely demolishing Demolisher, he gives us a warning about the Fallen. What's this? G1 episode? What's that? Oh fuck yeah, bro, this game rocks. Moving through a few more missions, we have to do things like save a Nest convoy and save Sam's girlfriend. After a few missions, we're told that because of a lapse in security, the Decepticons discover where Megatron's body is located. And because they because they have his reboot card, I hate this game so much. Because they have because they have Megatron's reboot card, there's a risk they can revive him. This is one of two missions we use Breakaway in. We have two objectives here: reactivate the anti-air weapons and rescue all injured humans. This mission is one of the hardest, mainly because of the janky flying mechanics, but I can figure it. Why, you ask? Because of the amount of dopamine I received whenever I hit a clip with Breakaway's sniper. Apparently one of the devs who worked on this game must actually like waking up in the morning, because as a saving grace, they made the sniper rifle the most overpowered weapon in the entire game. The weapon is so powerful, in fact, the only safe place to store it is inside Pandora's box. Unfortunately, however, the script says Megatron comes back to life, and with fly hacks turned on, he flies off. The next mission has us rescue Sam, and this mission nearly made me quit this whole video. It took me 4 attempts and a hard restart to complete it. The mission has us play as Bumblebee, where we must take down waves of cons. Unfortunately, a glitch can happen where we randomly stop spawning, meaning you can't progress through the fucking game. But eventually, through sheer force of will, I actually managed to progress to Phase 2, a 1v1 fight against Grinder. I know his name's Grindor, but shut up. He is really annoying to fight, but to be fair, most of the fights in this game are. With melee damage being useless, all enemies just become bullet sponges. Unfortunately for Grinder, however, I use Tinder. Such a shit joke. The next mission, we have to defend Ladies Man 127 while he visits Simmons and Jetfire. To keep Sam safe, we must stop waves of cons from damaging his building. And by the way, you can actually play through this mission so fast, the dialogue can't keep up. After Sam talks to Jetfire, a portal to freedom, a portal to Egypt opens up, and because Sam has never heard of Strange Danger, he goes right through. There is one more mission before we reach Egypt, where we play as Optimus, but it's a ridiculously long escort mission. After this mission though, oh boy, shit starts to get good. But before we can do the mission, the game remembers what film it's based off.
In their search for energy, the ancients, the dynasty of primes, constructed a machine to destroy stars and harvest their energy.
This is completely unskippable, by the way. The first Egypt mission is a 2v2 fight. Megatron and Starscream versus Optimus and Jetfire. And this fight was actually difficult. First off, we have Megatron who just harasses you, and then there's Starscream who spends 96% of the fight flying around hip firing. But then you'd think, oh, I have backup. Well, guess what? Turns out Cybertronians can suffer from brain rot as well, because Jetfire spends the entire time avoiding fighting. Eventually though, both Megatron and Starscream are defeated, allowing us to remember there's only 2 missions of this shit game left. The second to last mission pits Bumblebee against Devastator, only you're not actually fighting him. He never even acknowledges you. Instead, he just walks around in a perfect square while you shoot down his weapon systems. And I want you to remember, there are no checkpoints, meaning if you die right at the end, you have to do it all again. And this mission is a long one. First, you take down his back cannons, then his elbows, then, I don't know, his forehead. Once all his weapons have been destroyed, he just dies. Big bosses are commonly found in Transformers games. The most famous one I can think of are the Titans in War for Cybertron. But what makes those fights fun is the simplicity of it. You're a stationary target that has weapons you need to wipe out, then you get one of 3 chances to hit weak points. It's that simple. But what's the complaint? Well, because he's a moving target, it causes the points you need to hit to constantly jitter around. Not to mention the fact you are being harassed by about 500 Decepticons, causing your screen to shake like you're having an epileptic fit. If that wasn't bad enough, Devastator has a ground pound that shakes so hard you have an epileptic fit. But I don't care, there's only one mission left. The final mission has us fight against the Fallen. This, by the way, is one of only 2 appearances in the entire game. The boss fight is real simple. Shoot the Fallen, kill waves of cons. Shoot the Fallen, kill waves of cons. And because Jetfire died earlier, I forgot to mention that because I got a lobotomy from this game. Optimus was able to use his parts to become Flying Optimus. Unfortunately for the Fallen, however, Optimus still has legitimate plot armor. And after defeating him, what would you think your reward is? 20 minutes of unskippable credits. Can I move on to the fun part now?
Guys, put the money back and get out of there.
What? Are you out of your mind?
Tell him, Megatron.
Do as I command!
Okay, jeez.
The Decepticon campaign has the same layout as the Autobot one. There's 1 or 2 escort missions, a bunch of extermination missions, but the defense missions become destruction missions, and this means things can be so much easier. For example, the first mission has you 1v1 Ironhide, which we win, and once we win, he fucking dies. The next mission has us defend Grindor. It's effectively the Decepticon Ironhide escort mission. After that, we're told to find data under the Allspark fragment, so playing as Grinder, we fly around and hack into satellite dishes after killing some Autobots, of course. But don't think that's a breeze, because after we hack 3 of them, a timer starts, and once it reaches 0, we're locked out of the system. So for once, there's actually a punishment for taking too long. This mission is easily one of the best of the game. Maybe it has something to do with the fact they stole the idea from the first DS game, but that's neither here nor there. Once we hijack the dishes, we deploy Long Haul, and this mission is just... it's the Hammer of Dawn mission I mentioned earlier. We have to take down 3 buildings after, of course, we exterminate all local life in the area. Take a human up to some rooftop where Starscream has some disturbing audio with them. After doing this 3 times, we locate Sam's girlfriend, who we kidnap and leave on some random roof. And I'm not joking, that's where this mission ends, and she's never seen in the entire game ever again. The next mission has us play as Starscream as we hunt down any human that knows where the remains of Megatron are being kept, and after flying around shooting anything that moves, we successfully locate Megatron's body. So, the next mission in the game is exactly the same as Breakaways. You just play as Starscream, and the only real difference being is that you get backup, which I understand why the Autobot missions don't give you backup, because when compared to the Decepticons, the Autobots are really understaffed, but we still fight Autobots in the Decepticon campaign. We fight their drones, so why don't we get backup in the Autobot one? Why am I thinking so hard about this game? I don't know, I'm just mentally insane. But in this mission, we have to take down gunships, and once enough gunships have been taken down, Megatron rises from the depths and flies away, as you do. Once Megatron is free, Grindor heads off to capture Sam. The mission is the same as Bumblebee's rescue mission, except there's no boss fight, and unlike Bumblebee's mission, the game doesn't break on this one. Once we wipe out all the Autobots, we do actually locate Ladies Man 127. Despite us capturing him, however, he manages to escape, so in a fit of rage, we play the shortest mission in the entire game. The mission has one simple objective: destroy the museum. Apparently Activision really hates the Night at the Museum films. Apparently though, Optimus does like them, so Megatron has to step in and destroy him. Megatron is one of the more fun characters of the game because he has 3 weapons. One charge-up weapon, aka a railgun, the standard rifle, and his ultimate, the fusion cannon, which makes hitting headshots extremely easy, as you just awkwardly stand there taking in all the shots before you pulp the Autobot you're looking at. Eventually, Prime makes an appearance, and it's exactly here that Insomniac Games was given the inspiration for Spider-Man 2, as you have to fight a character who you spent the past 2 hours playing as, and just like you, they use all the same abilities you used in all the same scummy ways. And I tell you this, Prime's plot armor is really annoying to fight against. But eventually, he falls. One unskippable cutscene later, we wind up in Egypt where we must fight both Bumblebee and Jetfire, in what, I can't lie, was a rather difficult fight, as unlike the Autobot missions, Megatron has no backup and Bumblebee has lock-on missiles. But you know, Megatron wipes the floor with Bumblebee. How, you ask? Well, because he realised the game has 2 missions left and that caused Megatron to lock in. After absolutely annihilating Bee and Jetfire, Longhaul has his last mission, where Bumblebee was pitted against Devastator. Longhaul just has to destroy a railgun. It is that easy, yes. And then there is the final fight, Megatron versus the Fallen for some reason. I can't even tell you why Megatron turns against his master, because the game's dialogue is so janky I didn't understand it. Either that or my brain had melted away from how bad the game is. The fight, by the way, is the same as Optimus's, and your reward is the same unskippable cutscene. That's the entire game. I've just covered the entire game. The game just feels really rushed and shallow. Exactly like the movie, funny enough. I understand they were under a bad time limit, not to mention the fact that the movie it's tying into didn't have a real script. The gameplay is just so janky, the story is an utter mess. It's only in the last 3 missions it remembers what film it's tying into. Apparently there is a multiplayer, but I wouldn't know. I couldn't get into a game. With this awful game out of the way, I can finally move on to a much better game like War for Cybertron, meaning that without further ado, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I sure didn't. And with that said, as always, till next time.